I wanted to share a testimony real quick. Well, actually, it was an encounter I had, and it all ties in. About 20 years ago, I was in ministry school in Reading, and I had this really profound encounter with God. And in this encounter, I was sitting down, and there was this canvas right in front of me, and all these paints and all these colors, and I saw Jesus come in, and he sat down right next to me. And I was 24, 25 at the time, long before marriage, long before kiddos. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool, Jesus sitting next to me. And he picks up the paintbrush, and he dips it in paint and starts painting. And then he stops, and he looks at me, and he goes, pick up the paintbrush, paint with me. And I was like, okay, I am not an artist. You don't want me to really paint, but I will do it with you, Jesus. So I pick up this paintbrush, and we start painting, and we're laughing, and Jesus and I are talking, and we're painting. And all of a sudden, I look at the canvas, and there's this girl on this canvas with curly blonde hair. And I go, what is this, Lord? And he goes, you're helping to paint in the generations to follow. You're adding color. You're adding color with me to see the next generations come forward through your prayers, through your prophetic decrees, through the way that you love and honor people. And I go, oh, wow, okay, Lord. And at the time, I was kind of like, marriage, kids, I don't know if that's for me. I just want to preach the gospel and go to the nations. And the Lord just kind of smiled at me. And I'm like, okay, this is the picture. This is the fruit. She is, and her sister are the fruit, are the blessing that came from that, the gift that God gave. And I want to release just that encouragement of reminding you, male and female, yes, today is Mother's Day, but to remind you that you're painting with Jesus in every step that you take and every breath that you take. And that painting with Jesus, your dreams, like what Jacqueline was talking about, the wrapped in kindness that Andrea shared, the generations that Susie talked about. Yeah, the beautiful promises and holding on to hope. I want to release us to step into that place of grabbing the promise of God, however it looks, because it probably looks very different. Like Maddie was saying, it looks very different than we were thinking it was going to look, right? But look at the fruit. The fruit comes in ways that we sometimes unexpect. And part of what I feel this is up here is Ellie and I do a little bit of ministry here, and we're going to have some of our prophetic team come on up too. There's a generational healing that God's bringing, but also a reminder that you're a daughter, specifically for the mamas, for the women in the room, that you're a daughter. And God wants to remind you that as a daughter, you just get to receive. One of the things the Lord's been talking to me a lot about is, Andrea, just receive. I'm like, I don't know how. Just receive. You have a word? Hold it close to your mouth, okay?
I feel like I see. I got it. I feel like I see like the mothers in the room, and how even if you don't have children, you can still mother people without. Even if you don't know it, you could feel like a mother to someone else without even. Yeah, and
You're good.
I just feel like the mothers in this room, you are so loved and you are so special throughout. Even if it's hard for you to see, you are just loved. And even if, say, you're struggling with having children, you can. God is with you. Pray to Him, and He will answer your prayers. Sometimes He doesn't answer the prayers in the way you want it, but he does answer them. I pray for everybody as a daughter, as a mother, maybe even as grandmothers, that I feel like the Lord has a blessing for you guys, and I just want to release that over you guys, and I feel like the Lord's telling me that everyone here, you all have a special calling to Him, and not everybody has the same calling, but all of you guys are special and loved through Him.
That's my girl right there. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to have the prophetic team come up. I know there's just a couple here today. Come on up. We're going to do just some quick ministry time, and then I know that we're wrapping up for the day, so we want to also give time for our mamas to go and be with their families. So let's see here. I really felt this morning, and this is, I'm going to dive a little deeper into one of the words that was released earlier. There's a level of shame that the Lord is going after, because this morning I woke up feeling a lot of shame for my journey and how hard it's been, even hard in loving kiddos and journeys and all the things. And I just want to release the breakthrough and partner with what's already been released in the atmosphere. And even I just kept hearing Andrea's book title. She's in the lobby. She's going to be signing book copies, and it's called Wrapped in Kindness. And I feel the Lord wants to wrap you in kindness. That what that does is it breaks the chains of shame, and it breaks the chains of pain, because pain can have chains attached to it. Okay, so if that's you, if that resonates in some way, shape, or form, I would like you to stand and be brave. I know that it's hard sometimes. If no one in here is feeling that, that's okay too. Maybe it's for someone online. And I'm just going to pray, if you just receive it wherever you're at. So Jesus, I thank you that you're breaking the chains of shame. I thank you for the wraparound presence of kindness that is coming, Lord. Right where they're at, whether it's today and the days to come, wrap them up in your kindness, that they can see and feel the loving kindness of Jesus.
While we were worshiping, I was actually asking the Lord for a word for myself, and I said it's been a long time since I've had a word, and He showed me something, and I believe it's not just for me. This is a word for moms who are struggling with children with addiction, or maybe their life just didn't turn out the way you thought it was going to. And while I was sitting, before I had even asked the Lord for a word, He showed me a daffodil. I'm like, I have to go and look up what that means. And so I did, and it means new birth, renewal, hope. A daffodil is one of the very first flowers to appear in the spring. And when I did ask the Lord for a word for one of my children, I said, this child has never had a word given to him that I can remember. I saw him, and he was just covered in daffodils. And so the Lord wants you to know He cares for your child. He loves your child. And He has a plan for your child. And His plans and purposes don't go unanswered. You can't mess it up so bad that He can't fix it. And so that's what He showed me.